Hey, welcome back to the channel. My name's Jeremy. If you've never been here before, thanks and welcome. I just want to make a quick video today about this announcement that Leica has dropped on us this week. They have released the newest rendition in their Q series, the Q3. But I'm super excited about this camera, but I'm also someone who will never buy it, which makes no sense, right? So real quick catch up. I owned the Q for a while. Love that camera. It was honestly fantastic. Kind of regret getting rid of it. So why would I not want the newest rendition, the newest and the best and the greatest? Well, for a few reasons. Mostly, if you saw my past videos, the last two, we've talked about the camera specifically. That's this guy, my baby, the Leica SL2S. This camera is still my absolute favorite. This is the camera that I think about when I want to go shoot anything. It's the camera I think about when I just want to leave the house. It is slowly kind of working its way in there to the area where I save for film. I always want to grab a film camera when I'm going somewhere for a personal trip or just a day drive. And the Leica SL2S has found itself in the same bag, and it's got me carrying more stuff, but that's okay. I'm excited about that. So why am I excited if I'm never buying the Q3 about its release? Being an SL2S user, I'm super excited about three things that I really hope we see implemented in the newest version of the SL line, whether that's the SL3 or whatever Leica decides to name this new camera. So what are those things? If you watch my video, 2 videos back from this, talking about the Leica SL2S and basically why I switched to Leica from Canon and the R3 of all cameras, you'll realize there are a few things about this camera that I don't love, because it's not perfect. So one thing that the Q3 announced that I'm extremely excited about, hopefully coming to the SL line in the future, is the new battery. It's more milliamps. It's going to last longer. It's going to hopefully mean that I have to have less of these $300 batteries in my bag, in my pocket, which just sounds like a win-win to me. The only downside of that is they're not backwards compatible, meaning the Q3 battery will not work in the Q2 or the Q, whereas the Q2 battery and the SL2, SL2S were all the same. So those were interchangeable, which I never did, but that's nice to know. So, number one, the new battery life. That makes me excited. Number two, the thing that I talk about in that video that I mentioned is how good the autofocus is in photo and not the best in video. Well, with the new Q3, Leica has introduced, finally, the phase detect autofocus system. I can only assume with the element alliance between Sigma, Panasonic, and Leica that Leica has worked closely with Panasonic, and probably this is some version of the autofocus system that we will find in the Lumix S52 and S52X, which is awesome. I love the autofocus in that camera for photo. But now for video, all the reviews I've seen, it looks fantastic, right on par with Sony and Canon, if not, then very close. So, as someone who loves the SL line, having that extra autofocus, it's just a win. I don't require it, but it's still something that I can be excited about. Just another reason why this camera is made so well for the way that I shoot and the way that I work. This last one really is more of a bonus tip, less than a full point of something I'm excited about, because I could really give or take. I could really care less one way or the other on this one. I can see the benefits of having it, but I can also see the benefits of staying how we are, and that's the articulating screen. The Q3 introduced a tilting screen, much like some of the first renditions of the Sony camera where they flip down and tilt up and not out, which is handy, I'm certain. But I don't have that screen now on the SL, so like I'm really used to not needing the screen. And honestly, if it's a shot that I really want, I'm gonna get down, I'm gonna get it. I don't need the screen to make that happen. Honestly, sometimes I think flip out screen makes me a little lazy. It can't just be me. But I am shooting this video on the FX30, so it does have a tilt-up screen, and it's fantastic for what I'm doing right now. And I can do this with a Leica, and honestly, sometimes I don't like having the screen. Sometimes I find it distracting. The things I'm most excited about, obviously, the battery life, the new version of the autofocus, and I'm give or take on the new articulating screen that they've introduced for the first time. Leica purists probably hate that. I'm not that guy. I love a camera that works well, feels great in the hand. Check, check, check. That's what the SL2S does for me. They check all the boxes so far. So I'm super excited about these new features from the Q3 because of what that means going forward for the SL line from Leica. I'm excited. I'm ready to see this thing. I don't know if you're even working on it. This is not a hint video. This is not a Leica rumor. I have no idea. I'm just wanted to share with you why this release of the Q3 and all the information that I've read and seen and watched, why that makes me excited as a current Leica user, a current Leica SL2S user. If this makes sense to you, I'd love to hear from you. Fill those comments. Are you excited about the battery life? Are you excited about the tilt screen? The wireless charging, that's a little gimmicky, only because you have to buy the additional accessories from my understanding. So if you're an SL user, or maybe you're a Q user, are you going to buy the Q3? If so, why not? And if you're not, what features of that Q3 are you excited about for Leica in the future? I appreciate you being here. Sorry for no B-roll of a Q3. I don't own one. I'm not going to buy one. So this is just a short video, just me rambling, running off the mouth, talking about the things I'm excited about. But I appreciate you being here. Hope you learned something. If not, I mean, could have been worse. Could have spent your time doing something else, I suppose. But I'm glad you're here, and we'll see you in the next one. Appreciate it.